What's up, guys, and welcome to the show. So I do apologize for the lateness of this video. It's been another kind of crazy busy day today, as they all are, seem to be anyway. But I figured I'd do another bouncer stories video because I got a lot of stories, and I don't know, I just figured I'd do another bouncer story video. Everybody seemed to like the first one, so this is more bouncer stories. Don't forget to check out Brawl. The link will be in the description for their Facebook. If you're a bouncer, or if you're interested in becoming a bouncer, or if you're interested in the bouncer culture, they're definitely a great place to check everything out. It's a great brotherhood for bouncers who are active, retired, semi-retired, or really interested in getting into the business. So check them out. Link is in the description. So anyway, I'll start off the story. It's not really a great story. Some stories are better than others. Some stories are good. Some stories aren't. This isn't really a great story. My last story was a lot better. But I was working this, I don't know, it wasn't a club. It was more of a pub, I guess. I was working this little pub. It was a little small place, capacity 100 people. So basically how it would go is I would go in, I would count. I would have a counter. I'd count up all the people that were currently in the bar, and then I would go outside, ID everybody, and once we get to capacity, I wouldn't let anybody else in until people would leave for the night, and then of course you let people in, that whole thing. So this particular night, I got to the pub, counted everybody up, so like 30-40 people. It was a pretty high-end night because in the pub we had a couple musicians that were in town for a concert, as well as we had six professional skateboarders who were in town for a professional skateboard demo. They were in there as well. There was a DJ in as well, so it was quite a bit of VIPs that were there, more important type people. So I counted them up, stuff like that, went outside, started my night. People were coming in pretty steadily, I guess, because there was more famous people there, right? So people were coming in pretty steadily, and pretty soon I rather quickly filled up. I couldn't let anybody in. So that was pretty quiet. Basically what ended up happening was, I don't know if you guys have them in your town, but there's these boat races here, like people boat races, I guess I would call them. There's like 10 people go in a boat and they paddle, and they have these races and these winners or whatever. But anyway, so I was filled up at this point, and comes these like 10 people come in, and this girl comes up and she's like, "Oh, we won the races tonight. We're on the VIP list." And I shook my head and I said no. I said you're not on the VIP list. There's I can't let you in at this point. I'm capacity. You're not on the VIP list. And she started freaking out. She said, she was like, "Are you effing kidding me?" She said, "I'm on VIP list. We won these races today, and you can't treat me like this. Like, I'm going in." And I said, "No, you can't go in. Like, we're capacity." So I kind of tried to position myself a certain way in front of the door where she can get through me, because it's a woman, right? Like, you don't want to put your hands on anybody at this point, right? So she's like was trying to get through me, so I positioned myself, and then she said, "You can't treat me like this. I won these races today." And I said, "Look, like, I have musicians in here. I have professional skateboarders in here today." I said, "I have this DJ in there." I said, I have like actual real VIPs, like actual real famous people in there. I said, "I can't be like, you guys are more important, because you're not." And she started freaking out. She was screaming and yelling and, "Oh, this is not right. I want to talk to your manager," and stuff like that. And I said, "Well, you can't talk to him, but you could talk to me." And I said, "I can't let you in because we're at capacity, and B, like, you know, you're not on any VIP list, so I can't really, you know, give you special treatment. And so she was cursing and swearing, and like I said, she even tried to get through me again, and I'm going in whether you say so or not, and she tried to like physically shove me out of the way, like pull me out of the way. And of course I just had to, you know, you plant your feet, you know, put your 4x on, I always call it, you know, put your 4x on, make yourself heavy so they can't move you out of the way. And she was trying and trying and trying, and I was shaking my head. I said no. And then this guy came out from behind me, and he's like, "Oh, we're going out." I said, are you guys going for the night?" And he said, "No, we'll be back." So as a courtesy, as the bouncer, you hold their place for them, right? If you're leaving, you let them come back in, you hold their place for them. So I said, okay. And then she said, well, now we could go in because this guy left. I said, no, he's coming back. I have to hold their place. And she started freaking out. That's not right, you son bitch, and this and that. And so I said, oh, you know, call me all the names you want, but I still can't let you in. So then these few people came in, and they were in earlier, but they had left. There's a bunch of them, like there's like 5 or 6 of them, and they came in, and I let them in, you know, come in, and she's like, what the hell's wrong with you? You just let these people in, but you're not letting me in, you know, you're not letting me in because I'm a woman and this and that. And she was freaking out, and I was like, you have guys on your team too, like I can't let you guys in. And I let these guys in because they were in before. They were in before, you know, they leave, you hold their place. If they said they'll be right back, or if they're coming in, you hold their place, right? So she's freaking out. She's like, oh, just let me in. You don't have to let anybody else in. I'm the captain anyway. And so she kept trying to get through me, and I was blocking the door. I said, no, I can't let you in. I said, I'm not going to tell you again. Like, you're going to have to go. Like, at this point, you're causing a scene. You're screaming. You're yelling. I said, you're going to have to go now. Like, I can't. And then at this point, one of the bartenders come up and starts banging on the door from like behind me, because it was a glass door. Starts banging on the door, so I turned to look, and then she like did this like for me to come in. So I went in, and at that time, whenever a bartender or anything comes up to you and bangs on the door and tells you to come in, you know there's trouble. So I turned around, I come bolting inside, and she said, oh, you gotta toss these few guys out because one guy's drunk, and then the other guys they're pretty wasted. They got overserved, and they're starting to pick fights with everybody. And so I went to the front of the bar, because the way the bar was set up, there was like a back, middle, front. So I went to the front of the bar, and there's this really big guy. He was like 6'2", 6'3", and I'm 5'9", right? So I went behind him, and I, you know, tossed him out, and then I went back, and then I tossed the other 2 out, and then I went back and I tossed the other guy out as well. So I kicked them all out, and then I said to her, I said, finally, I said, now you can go in. Now you can go in. You're allowed 4 in. So she went in. She was really rude about it. I think she said some like crude remark or something like that on her way in, and then of course 3 other people went in as well, and then I let the other guys in, because right after they went in, a few people came out and said, okay, we're going home for the day, so you don't have to hold our spot. So then they ended up all going in as well. So then after that, I just kind of felt like, you know, you kind of feel like shit after that, because here you have somebody who's like, you know, being really rude to you, being really mean and stuff like that, and there's no real reason for it. They just want to be a bitch. So, you know, that's the story anyway. She was just being really rude. She was trying to physically move me. She was swearing at me. She was yelling at me. She was calling me down, calling me names, things like that, saying, oh, we're VIPs. And it's like, you won a little race that nobody even knows about. Like, who cares, man? You know, I got real VIPs in there, you know, like, she was just making a real fool out of herself. And yeah, these people are crazy, I guess. But anyway, that's the story for today, guys. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to check out Brawl, and the link in the description. Check them out. Anyway, that's the video for today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You know, very much, and check you in the next video.